All right, please give a warm round of applause for Albert.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Not a lot of people, so I will talk slowly. I'm Albert. I'm the founder of Genopets. Been in GameFi since 2021. Today, I'm actually not gonna just talk about gaming on Solana. What I'm gonna talk about is defining Web3 gaming. What is Web3 gaming? Because people have different ideas of what that means. And today, I'm gonna give a quick run-through of the history of Web3 gaming. But first, let me talk about what commonly is talked about in regards to Web3 gaming. There's number one, digital ownership. You know, verifiable scarcity. You buy something on chain, you know there's limited supply, and the publisher or the game creator can't take it away from you. That's a narrative that's been talked about a lot. There's also interoperability. Like, hey, look, my asset, my item on this game can be used in another game. So that's really cool. Number three is with tokens. This is what's talked about a lot, decentralized governance. There comes a time when you have fully on-chain games where the game world and everything that happens in it, all the parameters, can be decided by the players through the token mechanics. And that's something people really, really like and are really excited about in the Web3 space. Then there's permissionless modding. Because everything is on-chain and all the state and all the logic is right there, people can create different versions of your game. And that's another thesis of Web3 gaming that people have been really excited about. But today, I'm going to talk to you guys about what I'm most excited about after 3 years of being in the Web3 gaming space. And that's financial gamification. In my opinion, Web3 gaming means the gamification of financial activity. And I'll show you why by talking about the history of Web3 gaming. Now, a lot of people might think that gaming only started happening on chain in 2021 with Axie Infinity. But not really. Ever since you could use an Ethereum wallet, you were able to game on chain. Does anybody remember FOMO 3D? Anyone old enough to be in this space? No? FOMO 3D came out in 2018, and that was the first real on-chain game that anybody has ever played. The game rules are simple. You buy a key, and the key price goes up. You buy a key, and the last person to buy the key wins all the money in the pot. Now, the key thing is, every time you buy the key price goes up, but then the pot goes up too. So it makes more and more sense to put money in. And there's a 24-hour countdown clock. If after 24 hours, nobody buys the next key, you win the entire pot. And I remember the pot went up to something like $60 million. And it was really cool how the last person was able to win it. What he did was he wrote a smart contract that would consume all the gas in every block on Ethereum. And he did it for 24 hours, so nobody could buy the second key. And this is 2018. And that's when people realized, wow, with gamification, you can make money on chain. And then came 2019. This is 2 cycles ago, this was the bear market. And in the bear market, a lot of people look for different things to do. And in this instance, it was a simple dice game on a chain called EOS. I don't know if anybody here has used EOS, but back then, I built on EOS before I built on Solana. It was the first Ethereum killer. People used to joke that EOS stood for Ethereum on steroids. Didn't really work out, but simple dice game, you bet over and under. It had billions of volume. Now, the next one people might be familiar with. It's funny that when we say gaming, people don't really consider this gaming, but for all intents and purposes, this was the most fun game in all of crypto in 2020. It's called DeFi yield farming. How does it work? You provide liquidity in any token pair. And back then, that's when DEXs were starting to happen, AMMs, introduced by Uniswap and popularized by Compound when they would give you governance tokens for providing liquidity. So you provide liquidity on a token pair, you receive the governance token, and here's where the game gets even more exciting. You can provide liquidity for the governance token in what we call the pool 2, and you can earn more rewards. This becomes really reflexive. So when it came time for this to become popular, people made a killing. And that was the first time people understood how DeFi worked. 2021 and 2022 was where most people started entering the space and learn about Web3 gaming. That's when play to earn became a phrase, where GameFi became a phrase. And that's where our project, Genopets, started. And it was popularized by Axie, DeFi Kingdoms, Step In, and I had to put our logo on there too. But the model is pretty simple. You buy an NFT as an investment asset, you play the game, and you farm rewards in whatever way that the game deems appropriate. And without the NFT, you can't actually earn anything. But with an NFT, you can earn a return. With the return, you can use it to upgrade your NFT and earn more, and so on and so forth. Again, it's a flywheel effect that's very reflexive on the way up, but ultimately, it wasn't very sustainable. So now everyone's looking for sustainable gaming. Then came 2023. This one was interesting because 2023, I think, was the equivalent of 2019 in the cycle time period. And in 2019, we had EOS Dice. And this time, we had SocialFi. Friendtech, not sure how many people actually played it, but it's an interesting spin on FOMO 3D. It reminds me of FOMO 3D a lot, in that you buy keys. This time, you buy keys to gain access to your favorite influencer or favorite friend. And then it's on a bonding curve. So it basically combines FOMO 3D with DeFi. The bonding curve makes it so that every time you buy a key of this person, the price goes up. So you can speculate on how popular an influencer is going to be. And you can sell keys any time. So along this bonding curve, there's a lot of money to be made. And after that, Friendtech was launched on this. I think SocialFi is still going. Right now, Friendtech isn't really happening, but then there's still Fantasy Top. I look at it as a pretty interesting space for gaming. Now, the last one is Meme Coin Mania, and everyone's pretty familiar with it, I think, by now. Anyone play with Pump.Fun? Yeah, some of you? All right. That's what gets people excited these days, right? And a lot of investors actually say this now. Web3 gaming is already here. It's just not what you think it looks like. And Meme Coin Mania, Pump.Fun, throughout Meme Coin Mania, Pump.Fun became the fastest growing startup in terms of revenue in all of history. Not just Web3, Web2 as well. I think as of last I checked, they were making about $7 million in revenue every day, just on trading. What's the meta here? Well, there's two sides, right? You can launch a meme, make it cool, stream about it, get people to buy it. Or if you think you're kind of a connoisseur or a tastemaker, you can identify something that's cool before people realize it. And that's a really fun thing to do, because if you're able to do that, you can make way more money than everything that I described before, whether it's SocialFi, GameFi, etc. For me, though, this is just an evolution of what Web3 gaming is. I personally don't think this is the end of the journey. I think it just illustrates that when you have permissionless state on chain tied to the internet of money, cool things can happen. This is the hackathon stage, so I was told to say, and we have a gaming track for the hackathon, so I was told to talk about what we look for. And what I personally like is innovation on mechanics of gaming. From GambleFi to DeFi to GameFi to MemeFi. That's basically what I just walked you guys through in the last, 6 years of Web3. GambleFi, started with GambleFi, went to DeFi, GameFi, and MemeFi. What's next? a lot of people like to talk about gaming in terms of content wrappers. I think there's a place for that, but I think as the industry, we really haven't figured out the best way ahead for what sustainable gaming is. I think there's a lot of different ideas right now. There's FOCG, fully on-chain games, where the entire state of the game is on-chain and governance can be done about it. There's AI agents that you could use to play fully on-chain games and make decisions based on on-chain state. Those are all really, really exciting. But ultimately, like I said earlier, let's innovate on the mechanics of Web3 gaming before we pile on the content wrappers. And with that, I'd like to say that's what I'm looking for in this year's hackathon. Thank you.
All right, so we do have a little bit of time for Q&A. If there's any questions from the audience for Albert, please just raise your hand. I'll pass you the mic.
Do you have a favorite meme coin?
It was Whiff for like the first part of the year, and then it was Goat, and now it's Chill Guy. Full portrait chill. I'm just kidding.
Are you a
Not
chill
financial
guy?
advice.
Excellent, thank you.
I think you asked, or you're looking for the next thing in gaming, or how people can innovate on gaming. Is there trends that you're seeing?
Yeah, I think as I was mentioning before, now with AI agents being able to be fully autonomous, I think there's a space. Parallels is doing this, and I think it's pretty interesting, where the game becomes training the AI agent to make decisions to win in a winner-take-all economy. And I think that's pretty interesting because people have already been doing it at scale in a different way, which is the whole guild meta, right? So in 2021, the guild meta was a guild would hire scholars in developing countries and then train them to perform certain actions to win in a game and reap the rewards. I think in the very near future, I'm already seeing some projects come up that's talking about it, where the scholars become agents, and the winning prize is training your agent to win at this game of skill or a game of economic maximization and compete with others. I think that becomes really exciting, and the end result of that is pretty useful for humanity, because AI agents goes beyond just Web3. There's a lot of use cases for it in real life. So that's what I'm most excited about.
Thank you.
Questions, or are we good? All right, yeah, thanks so much, Albert. Thank you for your time.